Eyewitness News.
Now let's welcome back our 10 semifinalists, each wearing an after-5 dress of her own choosing. Now, the semifinal competition begins with the interviews. And let me remind you, armchair judges at home, that poise, intelligence, personality, and the content of the answers are all equally important in this competition. Only you at home will see the scores. Now, for any candidate who feels she may have difficulty understanding or expressing herself in English, we have interpreters from In Lingua International Language Center standing by. And we'll meet our first candidate now. This is Miss India, Suzanne Sablok. She's 23 years of age, a graduate of the University of India, and a model. Now, you've been a model in India for a while, but you told the press earlier that this was going to be your last year. Why?
Because I think I've had enough of it. I've enjoyed it. I've reached the peak of my career, and now I want to study and do much more interesting things like helping handicapped children, which is my aim from the day I was, from a very early age.
Now, you've been to the United States several times. How do we differ from you, at least in terms of the women?
The women over here are really beautiful, so are the Indian women, but we are very mysterious. We have a certain mystery about ourselves, which we don't let go, and I think the American women are very modern.
Thank you very much. Please wait for a moment while the judges give you a score. Now, if you'll step over there, please, that's Miss India. Let's meet next Miss Colombia, Lisette Maecha. She's a recent high school graduate, studying public relations, looking for a career in tourism. And may I have my interpreter, please? We read so much in the news about drugs in Colombia. Could you please tell me, how much should the United States have to do with the Colombian drug affair?
Nosotros leemos mucho en los periódicos acerca del problema de las drogas en Colombia. ¿Qué tanto tienen que ver la influencia de los Estados Unidos en este problema?
Mira, yo pienso que los Estados Unidos tienen que ver mucho porque conjuntamente es un problema de todos y conjuntamente vamos a lograr una solución como hasta el momento lo estamos haciendo.
I think that
Un momento, por favor.
I think that the United States have a lot to do with this because the problem is not only ours, it belongs to all of us. And together, we all together are going to get to the solution.
Thank you very much. May I ask you, what positive things should we know about Colombia?
¿Qué es lo positivo? ¿Qué cosas positivas tenemos que saber de Colombia?
Muchas cosas positivas existen en Colombia, mucha gente linda, muchos valores humanos y mucha gente que quiere emprender muchos proyectos para alcanzar muchas cosas lindas. En Colombia está muchas riquezas, las esmeraldas, el café, las flores.
Gracias.
There is a lot of beautiful things in Colombia, the people, the values, the people, the values, the people, the values. There's a lot of natural wealth, the coffee, the flowers, the women. We have a lot of beautiful things in Colombia.
An exact translation. Muchas gracias. Please wait one moment. Thank you very much. Would you join Miss India? You'll notice it takes a little bit longer with the translations. Everybody's getting the same time. Next, Miss Mexico. Marile del Rosario has a degree in tourism, is now working on her public relations career. Would you join me again, please? You have been an exchange student here in the United States. How does an American family differ from one in Mexico?
Tú has sido estudiante de intercambio en los Estados Unidos. ¿En qué se diferencia la familia americana de la familia mexicana?
Bueno, las dos tenemos cosas muy positivas. Yo creo que la familia americana se diferencia de la mexicana, que trabajan la mayor parte del tiempo y es imposible tener a la familia reunida. Yo creo que muy pocas veces se reúne la familia.
Well, I think that both, we have positive values, both of them. But the American family, they are always working, and it's never possible to have them all together at the same time.
It's true. You once jumped into a bull ring. Do you like excitement?
Una vez brincaste al ruedo del torero. ¿Te gusta la excitación?
Sí, así es, me gustan mucho las corridas de toros, las peleas de gallos y sí, la verdad, sí brinqué al ring y eso lo hacemos en la ciudad de Tlaxcala, que es muy excitante y muy emocionante, pero nunca lo voy a volver a hacer.
Yes, I did do that. I did do that. I like bullfights, cockfights. I did jump into in a little bull ring that we have in the city of Tlaxcala, but I'll never do that again.
I hope not. Please face forward for a moment. The judges will score. That's Miss Mexico. Thank you. Next is Miss Turkey coming up in a moment. Miss Turkey, I announced you a little bit early. This is Giuliani Atesh. She's a university student majoring in English literature. What do you want to do when you complete your studies?
I have 3 more years to complete my studies. After that, I want to continue with master program in America about international public relations, and then I want to be a businesswoman.
If I were to go to Turkey as a tourist, what would you recommend I see?
If you're interested in history, there are several places to see in Turkey, and first of all, I think it's because of near my city. I would advise you to go to Ephesus and Kuşadası.
What is the biggest challenge your country faces in the 90s?
I think it's about the teenagers, because I think the teenagers are the people who build the country, and it's about education. Education is a very big problem because we have university exams, and if you can't pass that exam, you can't go to the university. It was my problem, and I couldn't pass my university exam at the first year, so it had a very big problem for me and for for the Turkish teenagers.
Thank you very much. Please hold here for a moment. Turkey, thank you very much. Next is Miss Chile, Urania Haltenhoff. She's a university student majoring in accounting. And again, may I have our translator? Thank you for joining us. It says here you want to have your own accounting firm one day. Now, if your biggest client someday asked you to, how do we say, juggle the books, what would be your answer?
Entendemos que quieres tener tu propia firma de contaduría. Si tu cliente más grande te pide que arregles los libros, ¿qué harías?
Es imposible realmente. Si uno quiere ser un buen auditor, un buen contador auditor, en lo cual lo más importante es el prestigio, es imposible dejarse dominar por el afán del dinero, ¿no? Yo pienso que en ese caso le diría a mi gran cliente que no podría hacer ese trabajo, lo siento, por mi prestigio profesional.
I think it's impossible. I think it's impossible. You have to keep you want to be a good accountant and have a good impression and be honest. But if you want to go for the money, you cannot do that. I would tell my important client, no, you cannot do that. I would not do it.
Thank you very much. Will you please wait for the judges to score? Thank you. Please join the other women. That's Miss Chile. Thank you, ladies, very, very much.
Some very, very strong interviews in that group. It's tough to answer questions when the heat is on like that.
Especially with 600 million people watching you.
Thanks for reminding us of that, too, Margaret. Miss Columbia, I thought, handled herself really well, as they all did, but she really had the pressure on her with the drug issue.
She did. She's been under a lot of pressure this whole week from the press, having to deal with a very difficult topic. And she's handled it with great diplomacy.
I also thought Miss Mexico, injecting a little humor never hurts with the judges, it seems.
It does, and when you're able to get a response from the audience, it adds points to your score. The judges like to hear that you can communicate with people.
So charm goes a long way as well.
Indeed it does.
Of course, Margaret, Carol Gist, Miss USA, is coming up in the second group of interviews.
Indeed.
We have had someone from the States in the finals every year for the last 10 years, but we've not had a winner since Sean Weatherly in 1980. Maybe Carol can turn that around for us. How do you think she'll do tonight?
I think she just might. She'll do very well. I watched her at the USA pageant, and she simply knocked the judges' questions right out of the ballpark. The camera loves this girl. She doesn't seem to have a bad angle. In fact, I saw her at the People's Choice Awards. She was on the stage with the likes of Meryl Streep and Jack Nicholson, and she handled herself with total confidence. This girl has star quality.
That seems to be the word on Carol. I've never seen her rattle. Have you?
Neither have I, and I don't think she's going to tonight.
Well, we will soon see how Carol and the rest of the semifinalists do when we come back.